Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have what I thought was going to be a Death Shadow Mirror. It's actually going to be up against Enchantress. So we'll see here how Black-Blue Death Shadow is able to fare against this archetype. It is very powerful, but rarely played in Legacy. Basic Forest is what it's all about. With Enchantress, you're going to look to suit up with Wild Growths. Looks like Abundant Growth and potentially Utopia Sprawls to really turn those basic forests into powerhouses and then draw a ton of cards off of Enchantress Presence, Argothian Enchantress, and I believe a singleton copy of Eidolon of the Blossoms. It allows you to Green Sun Zenith or something other than your Argothian Enchantresses. Wild Growth coming down. Abundant Growth just allowing any color mana, not adding extra mana. Delver of Secrets flipping for Death Shadow. And the beatings begin. Life total still quite high, not ideal. Gurmag Angler in hand, Death Shadow in hand, a lot of counters. Got Stubborn Denial and a pair of Forces. And Gaia's a Dark Heart of the Wood. Probably could be countered. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It does give him access to more mana as a kind of Lotus Petal. He is bottlenecked on mana. On the other side, he's not going to be playing extra lands each turn. It is a exploration effect as well as being able to get sacked to add 2 green. Looking like a mono green Enchantress build so far. And here going for the throat here, Dismember and dazing the Dismember in order to get Death Shadow on board. Also going to get a couple extra cards in the graveyard for Gurmag Angler. Some decisions will need to be made regarding counter magic if Enchantress does present anything too threatening. Sarah's Sanctum. Currently tapping for 3, so we got 3 white, 2 green. Enchantress Presence with 2 floating. I believe that merits a Force of Will. It does pitch Force. So that does kind of commit to keeping a blue mana open moving forward. Living Wish with no mana floating. 2 mana are available with that Dark Heart of the Wood. Argothian Enchantress sticks. I think that's Dark Heart of the Wood. I'll have to look that up after the video. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Wasteland on Sarah's Sanctum. And here comes Deathrite and Delver. One more swing here. Dark Heart of the Wood, trigger a draw. Still keeping that Stubborn Denial available. Elephant Grass. Now that can't be stopped with Stubborn Denial here because there's a mana to pay. Oh, and a basic Forest. With a Wild Growth, so things are starting to get churning here. Abundant Growth. 2 more cards. Elephant Grass gonna stop Death Shadow from attacking. Cycling Street Wraith. Got a land. So Stubborn Denial is a hard counter here. Got to pay 2. And this is it. The ball is firmly in Enchantress's court here. Paying the 2. I wonder if that's actually correct. Likely not. Elephant Grass doesn't really do anything here because you're dead to Deathrite. To the Delver of Secrets. Utopia Sprawl. I think you need as much mana as you can to try and find some type of other answer. Maybe the game plan was to draw into multiple Elephant Grasses. I think he's just going to be bottlenecked on mana here. Looking through, the option is in his hand, and that is it. But just not quite enough mana. Really, from the beginning of the game, a little bottleneck there. Enchantress, very dangerous once it gets rolling, and somewhat difficult to stop it from getting rolling. Usually you just want to be killing them while they're trying to get their engine off the ground. Trying to counter wild growths and such is actually pretty bad. Now if you're countering them with Chalice of the Void, more power to you. But if you're actually throwing counter spells and resources at each individual wild growth effect, I mean, it's really unlikely you're going to be able to stop them all from sticking. Usually you need to try and prevent the Enchantress effects, if able. That can be worthwhile, but they do have quite a lot of them. It's a very interesting deck to play against. There are times where stopping early wild growth is absolutely the right play. There are times where you really should just go after their engine. Discard does help a lot with that, in terms of keeping the lines of play straight. Having perfect information certainly never hurts when you're playing control. This is one of the last events from Scholars Games in Brockton, Massachusetts. Not sure where I will be playing next. I'll be speaking with some store owners and taking a look at what the best way to proceed is. I've been really thrilled with the response to the channel over the last few months as it's been getting going, and really would like to keep this all going. If you do like the content, you can always show your support by subscribing. Be notified whenever we upload new videos. See how low Matt needs to go. Really you're gonna need some type of enabler, and you're gonna want that fast mana. Enchantress does have a kind of specific range that it's looking for. He is scrying, it's gonna stay. And Abundant Growth, again, perhaps not the card that deck needs. I haven't seen any Utopia Sprawl, so I'm wondering if Matt has swapped out Utopia Sprawl for Abundant Growth. And a Thoughtseize here. That shows Enchantress Presence, Living Wish, Wild Growth. Perhaps he drew that Wild Growth for turn. Really want your accelerants down as fast as possible. Earlier your acceleration hits, the more turns you have to use it, the farther ahead you get to pull. Looks like he's thinking it through here. He's got 2 mana available. Looks like he's drawn Enchantress Presence and Living Wish. And go find Argothian Enchantress or Eidolon of Blossoms. I don't know if we saw which. On the Death Shadow side here, no threat on board yet. That is not ideal. Yeah, Utopia Sprawl. Almost certainly where you want to be. See, I'll have to talk to Matt about this list, see how it went for him with the rest of the tournament as well. Choke at the front of the hand there. Argothian Enchantress as well, and there comes Death Shadow coming down as a 5/5. Argothian Enchantress. Wasteland not going to have any targets here. The Diabolic Edict does. That targets Matt, and he's got one choice to make. That is to put Enchantress in the graveyard, reanimate on Street Wraith, turn this into an immediate one-hit KO coming up. And that'll do it. So Death Shadow leapfrogs all the way to a 10/10, knocking half of Matt's life away. One top deck chance available to him, and that is it. And Death Shadow going for the throat out of nowhere. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.